Alright, so today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I've decided that I'm tired of sentence mining, although I'll probably go back to it, and I might do a little bit of it today, just incidentally. But what I've decided to do today is explore different topics in Japanese. So instead of just going and finding random YouTube videos that have Japanese subtitles, I'm going to specifically choose a topic, and I'm going to think of as many different words, maybe phrases, maybe just things related to that topic, and I'm going to search them in the dictionary. I'm going to search them online, and I'm going to just see what I can find. And in doing that, hopefully, I'm going to learn a bit more Japanese. So, first of all, I need to brainstorm topics. I was thinking music could be a topic. I was thinking exercise could be a topic. Games could be a topic. What about stuff like technology? Things like computers, or like how do you call I don't know, like what's a camera? I think a lot of Japanese uses English loanwords for this type of stuff, but that's fine. Okay, I don't know how. Maybe I should do this in all caps so that I can see that it's a category. Figure this is a pretty good way of doing things. I think the way that I like to learn language is just all about context. It's all about context. Learning from sentences. It's about the context of the sentence. Learning those grammatical structures, which is still very important. With language, like just raw input, which is where you just listen to that language being spoken as much as possible, even if you don't understand it. The point there is also context, the context of like patterns of speech, or even sentences still, if you understand enough to be able to pick out sentence structures and stuff like that. And I think this topic-based language learning is also going to be pretty important for building context. I think one thing I might try to do as well is build out sentences using these topics. So, for instance, talking about music, I want to say something like guitar, right? What's the word for guitar? Except that I think that it's just guitar, like it's just guitar with an accent. So, let's try and get a little bit more specific than that. Let's say we want to know genre. What is genre? What is your favorite music genre? Something like that. What if we want to know, like, what instrument do you play? Just like as a general question. So what's the word for instrument? What if we want to know, like, can you sing? Something like that, right? What if we want to know, like, something like rhythm? I don't think that's how you... Yeah, that is how you spell rhythm. I put it on the wrong line, but there you go. Rhythm and melody. Something like that. What about, like, a concert, right? We had... in one of my sentence mining sessions, I had something about like live music came up, but I don't remember exactly how they phrased it. They phrased it in sort of an interesting way, I think. So I'd like to learn more about that. So with this, we can do that, and then we can try and like figure out how to make a sentence with those. What about exercise? Exercise. So easy one would be gym. Weight. I bet there's some interesting stuff regarding weights. Just in terms of like how you talk about weight in Japanese, there might be some interesting things to discover there. But it might be a little hard to get at without having someone to tell me more about it. We could do like running. What about like climbing? Like I know rock climbing's pretty popular in Japan. We could figure out how to say that in Japanese. What about like sports? Like sport in general, and then what about like what do you want to say in terms of sports? Like what's your favorite team, maybe? I mean, learning how to say different sports. I know baseball is very popular in Japan, but I think they might just call it baseball with an accent. I don't know. And then with games, so what could you say with games? Like I think probably of all these topics, I probably already know the most about games. But let's try and like find out like the different ways to say like FPS games or like strategy. Find out how to say aim, shoot. Find out how to say like what character do you play? I'm just gonna write that whole sentence out. And then what about like maybe console? Figure out how to say console. What's your favorite console? Something like that. PC is, you know, I think they just say PC. It's PC or something like that. Aim, shoot, what character do you play? Console. What about like something more like RPG related, because that's more what I'm into rather than the FPSs. Well, figure out how to say RPG. Figure out how to say like story. That's not exactly like a game specific word, but sure. Story. Do you like games with a lot of story? What about like what class do you play? I don't know. That might be a little hard to figure out. Then, in regards to technology, I want to learn how to say like phone. Yeah, I don't remember. I think I've learned it at some point, but phone. What about like operating system? That might also be a bit advanced, but we'll try it. What about like, okay, microphone? Just look at things on my desk, I guess. Microphone. What about like I would say light, but that's not exactly. Oh yeah, one of the things I said earlier was camera. Camera. What about program? Like a program on the PC. What about like what about the word technology? What about like science? If we want to get a little more general, you know? What about electronics? And while we're at it, How about electricity? Stuff like that. In fact, electricity is probably a good one to know in general, just because it's, elemental. Alright, I think we can start there. Let's get going. So, first of all, just try searching for genre. Well, that just says genre in katakana, so that's fine. Pattern, shape, genre, breed. Type, shape, similar type, similar pattern. Okay, let me search for this one in a sentence just to see. Okay. Seems like more of a technical word than genre. So maybe genre is a little too specific. How about like type? Type of, what type of music? So this might be something, I'm going to use Google Translate, and we're going to see how that goes. It might go very, very poorly. Google Translate, did I not? Oh, right. Right there. Okay. So, if I type in English, I'm going to type genre of music. Ongaku no genre. Okay, so, but like, again, like, I wonder if they actually say genre like that, or if there's some other way that they usually talk about music. Let's start with music. Ongaku. So if I go and search, I don't know if I want to search like the internet or if I want to search YouTube. For, I guess you can't see that. Ongaku. There we go. And we get all sorts of different results. And in fact, a lot of this is going to be Chinese, just because it's just kanji. Well, it doesn't look like it's all music, or all, it doesn't look like it's all Chinese. So maybe they have a different kanji for that. Of course, you don't call it kanji in Chinese, I don't think. But so I'm just gonna start clicking. I don't know what any of this stuff is. It's, Japanese website, but so here we have genre. Like I found before. Oops. Need to switch out of the Japanese keyboard. So this genre, which I guess is like genre, but who knows? Yeah, that's the same right here. So I guess they do just call it genre. That's fine, that's good information. So, I should also put music in here. Music. Ongaku. Can I not type Japanese in? Oh no, I can. I just have to switch it. Ongaku. Ongaku. It's good to know both of the hiragana spelling and the kanji for it. I guess I'll put a slash there or something. Nope. Slash. Okay. And then genre. I don't like the Japanese dashes, personally. Okay, and then genre, I need to switch to katakana. Give me 1 second. Katakana. Okay, so it's what is it? Genre. Like that. Although, I don't know how you would put that ya into subscript. Or not subscript exactly, but like it's a, what do they call it? They call it something. It's a mark. Because it's actually smaller. So it indicates that it's like you're slurring, not slurring, but like you're going from G into the ah sound, ya. But it's all one sound, not G and then ya. But anyway, that's fine. Nope, did it again. Okay, let's look for instrument. Organ. That's not what I said. Instrument. Tool, implement, instrument. Musical instrument. Here we go. That's what I'm looking for. Gakki. Or is it gatsuki? I think it's gakki. Let me get that right out loud.
Gakki.
Gakki. Okay. Musical instrument. Gakki. If I don't have to do all the work myself, then why would I? Gakki. Sing. That one should be pretty straightforward. To sing. Utao. Okay. Easy enough. Utao. Paste. I guess I'm going to have to type that one by myself. And it defaulted to katakana, because that was the last thing I was using. Okay. Utao. Alright. Rhythm and melody. Rhythm. Oh. Hold on. Rhythm. One of the weirdest spelled words in the English language. Okay. I guess they just use the word rhythm. Rizu. I assume that's zu. Maybe ze. Hold on. I do have. I didn't have my hiragana, katakana thing ready. But there it is. Where did I put this? Right here. Can you see all that? Yeah. Okay. So, ri, I know that one. And then I would assume that's like za. Zu. Okay. Rizu, and then I would assume that's ma. No? Rizu mu. Okay. Rizumu. Cool. Rizumu. I'm just going to believe that at the moment. It's possible there's another word for rhythm. In fact, I'd say it's pretty likely. And then let's go melody. Same thing. Melody. But there is also Interesting. There's like 2 or 3 of these that could work. Interesting. But this also says tune. So I assume this one refers more to like a specific melody. And then the concept of melody would be more like this. Except that it says, the example sentence here is, this melody is familiar to many Japanese. So I might need to dig a little bit deeper. Let's do the sentence search. Right. So this is like melody or tune. Heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter. Interesting. There's only one sentence for that, so I guess you could assume that's a less common word. Same there. No sentences for that one. Okay, so seems like, yeah, melody is just melody. Okay, then the last one for music is concert. And again, we just have katakana, concerto. So let me actually, real quick, go back to anki. Where did I put anki? Okay, I gotta like minimize 15 different windows that I have open here. There it is. Here's anki. And I want to look at that one sentence, which I think might have been this one. No? Maybe this one? Yeah. So, ongaku is music. Kitari, listen, I believe was what that meant. Raibu. 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 There's a lot of these musical words that just end up using katakana, which is a little bit disappointing. I mean, I'm trying to learn Japanese, not learn English words, but it's still useful to know, like, that you can use the English word for this thing or that thing in Japanese. So, it's fine. So, in that case, let's try and put together some sentences. Close out of some of this stuff. So what I want to know is, like, do you play an instrument? Would be 1. So this is verified apparently. Let me just see. So we do have the kanji for instrument in there. So anata wa gaki, anata, anata. So I wonder what anata means. Anata wa gaki o enso shimasu ka? Enso. And what is shimasu? So we have a couple things to look up here. Anata. Anata. You. Referring to someone of equal or lower status. Side note. I know omae means you, but it's more casual / derogatory apparently. Okay. Makes sense. Just curious on that one. So, あなたは楽器を and O is like short for wo. あなたは so this would probably be a good opportunity to get out my particle list so that I can remember exactly what these particles mean. So, wa is the topic, so topic is you. あなたは楽器を object. Gaki was instrument, I'm already forgetting. Gaki, yep. Gaki is instrument. Enso. So, enso. Let's see. No, that doesn't sound right. Enso. Let's try, instead of enso, let's try copying down the kanji. Musical performance. Let's go ahead and write that down. So maybe... That's weird though, because when I searched concert, that didn't come up. But I don't know what that means. There's probably some context that I'm just missing. I'll just write it out. So there's the correct kanji, and then let's just get a slash in there. So, yeah, it looks right. Interesting. So, enso, and then shimasu ka, specifically. I need to switch off my kanji. Shimasu. I guess I don't need to switch off of that. In fact, maybe I'll switch back onto it. Shimasu. Yeah, suited. Okay. Irregular verbs again. I'm gonna have to make up a list of the irregular verbs. So, right, and then let's see exactly what it is. Shimasu. Non-past polite, so could just as easily be suited. Although there's probably some context there as well. Maybe when you're asking a question, you do that, or maybe Google just defaults to the polite form, which would make sense. Oh, it gave me it down there too. Okay, I didn't actually know Google Translate did that. Okay, so that makes perfect sense. Maybe I should... And this is a very simple sentence. あなたは楽器を演奏しますか? 演奏しますか? Do you play? Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I've been struggling to get these this Japanese sentence deck filled out, so let's go ahead and... Can I just copy this whole thing? I believe I can. Nice. And then... Anata wa gaki. Oh, I'm going to put WO because I want to. Shimasu ka. That's one I need to remember, shimasu ka. Or shimasu. I imagine that's going to come up quite a lot. Right, and what does that mean? That means do you play an instrument? And in that, what I want to remember is anata is you, polite, gaki is instrument, and enso is performance. So there might be a different way to say, like, in this context, like, do you play an instrument rather than do you perform with an instrument? I don't know what the distinction would be there, but there's probably something. So that's one sentence using these words. How about like, do you know how to sing that song? Or what songs do you know how to sing? I can't believe I didn't actually put song on here. Like that could be important. Let's look up song real quick. Song. Uta. Interesting. So music in general is utao. No, what was utao? Sing. Sing is utao. And song is uta. Just uta. That's kind of fascinating. Maybe it's just me. I find that fascinating. Slash uta. Seems like there's a few different ways of doing that, and this only applies to, but it, I don't know, leave it as is. So what I was gonna say was, do you know how to play, sing, be more specific, sing that song? Now this doesn't have the little shield next to it, so this might be completely wrong. But we have anata wa sono uta wo tao. So they are using some other form of this might be a little strange, but let's see what this is. Song, sure, but then, like, what's this? Sing. Okay, well, yeah, that is what I was just talking about. So, uta. I think this romanji is just completely wrong. I'm not sure. So if we break this up, it's anata wa, perfectly fine. Sono, I forget what sono is. So, no. It's just like the, okay. Sono uta. So what I would expect is sono uta, which would be like that song. And then wo. Okay, so I think this romanji just smashed together several words. Utao. So, okay. Uta, wo, that song. Utao, sing. And then what's this? Hoho o shite imasu ka? Hoho o. Tao. Hoho o imasu. Hoto o shite. Know how. I think this is not going to work, but so this is a little phrase that I don't know. Hoho. Method, manner, way, means. And then be aware of, to know, to be conscious of. Okay. But should it have this particle there? I don't know, because I don't know how the sentence structure works when you have to nest different particles. So, Hoho ochite masu ka? So as far as I know, that's all fine. So you, this song, sing, know how. And then imasu, I think, is just another form of iru, which is to be. Yeah, so, and I don't know, yeah, with things like to be, it's always it's probably one of the last things you should learn. Maybe not. I guess you could make an argument that it's one of the first things you should learn. But it's usually one of the more complicated in terms of how you use it grammatically. So okay, that's interesting. It's do you know the way to do that? Okay, I think that sounds like a perfect addition. It is complicated. I don't fully understand it, but I think I understand enough of it to. Anata wa sono. Also, is this using wa instead of anata wa? Didn't the other one use something else? Maybe not. Maybe I'm going crazy. I don't know. あなたはその歌を歌う頬をしていますか? That means, do you know how to, I don't know why that came out, sing this song? There you go. And I think probably the main thing to highlight here would be that hoho wo shite. Hoho wo shite. And that would be know how. And then I guess I'll also highlight uta is sing, and utao is song. I guess those are close words in English too, which is a little interesting. Except I think I got those mixed up. I think utao is sing, and uta is song. That's right, because I looked up song last and that was the shorter one. Okay. Neat. I guess, I mean, I don't have much time left. I was only going to go for an hour. This could be interesting to just come back to. So I think I'll, yeah, I think I'm just going to keep going with this. Make, one more, maybe two more sentences with, music, and then I'll move on, or I'll, end the stream. Let's see. Rhythm and melody. I don't know how I would exactly work that into a sentence. Concert. Yeah. So how about do you go to concerts often? Do you go to concerts often? might be interesting. Concerto, which is concert. Concerto ni yoku imasu ka? Ikimasu ka? Iki, so iku is go. Ikimasu ka is do you go? So what does yoku mean? Yoku. Often. Okay. I mean, that's a bit of a simple sentence. Ikimasu ka? Konsato ni yoku ikimasu ka? It's a very simple sentence. Could still be useful, but I think I want to do this in a different way. What kind of a sentence can I make with concerts? How about like, did you go to the, and for some reason I'm doing these all I can't type and talk at the same time. For some reason I'm making these all questions, which I don't know why. But oh well. Okay, so this is a little different, but it's still pretty simple. So this is last night, concerto, and then ikimashita ka, ikimashite ka, which I don't know. Did you go? Maybe it's because it's past tense. Because the other one was just ikimasu ka, right? Either way, I think that's fine. I mean, it's a pretty simple sentence, but yeah, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with simple sentences, you know. Sakuya, last night. Konsato ni ikimashita ka. I'm a little curious about ni destination. Okay. Yeah, okay. I guess. Okay. I don't know. I just, in that sentence, I wouldn't think of that as a destination. I would think of it as like a topic or like an object. But I don't know if that's correct or not. Because maybe when you're using iku or the forms of iku, you have to have some sort of a destination. But I also don't know if Google Translate got this wrong, maybe. I don't know. It would be nice to I can't talk and type at the same time. I just can't. It would be nice to have someone who speaks Japanese to sort of point things out, or at least tell me when I got something wrong. Which is part of the reason why I'm streaming in this time slot, because I'm hoping that some Japanese person will come along and help me. But either way, I think it's probably fine. Last night, I'm not even going to bother writing down concerto because that's just concert. I think that's it, because I already know ikimasu, iku. What is it? It would be like ikim. How would you do the past tense, the ta form of iki, iku? Why did you do that?
行った
Ita. Okay. Just ita. In fact, I wonder if that should be in this sentence as well. Ita. Because this kind of sounds like, are you going to the concert? Right? I don't see any past tense in this. Well, I guess Sakuya. Last night. Concert. Interesting. That's an interesting point. How do you do past tense questions? Would it be ita ka? Ka is like what you do to ask a question, but ikimashita ka? Ikimashita ka. Is that what it said? Ikimashita ka? Okay. So it is past tense. It's just past polite. Ta. So that ta is past. Neat. Okay. All right. I think that's enough for me. I don't think that was an hour-long stream, but it was something. I didn't start exactly at 8. But that's fine. I had a good time. I actually think that one went quite well. And yeah, follow me on Twitch if you want to learn along, or if you want to correct my horrible Japanese. You can also check me out on YouTube for past streams. Let's see. I'm not necessarily trying to grow my YouTube right now, or my Twitch, but I am trying to like get more comfortable on camera again, just so that I can do it in the future if I want to, right? I'm not going to be I'm not going to be at home much longer. I have a job where I travel, and I should be getting sent out again pretty soon, like in the next week. But I am thinking about trying to stream, or at least record videos from the hotel room. I think streaming might be difficult because the internet's probably not going to be that good, but we'll see how that goes. I mean, we'll see if it happens at all, and if it does happen, we'll see how that goes. But I want to try and like build up a bit of a routine with this and see if anything can happen. I mean, I know I'm not going to get viewers streaming Japanese learning, but I'm hoping I can get like somebody somewhere is interested in this. I know they are. Yeah, I think that's it. Had fun today, and I hope you have fun with the rest of your day.